Welcome back to Motivation Mondays. Pew, 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 pew. This is where we reflect on the week that passed and think about all the things that we are grateful for, but also all the things that we would like to change in the week ahead. This is a judgment-free zone. Yes, we will get into some deep topics from time to time, and yes, we might, throw a few F-bombs here and there, just to let the bitches know. But at the end of the day, we're just here to encourage each other to try new things, be our best selves, and to be reminded that it's okay. In life, there are mistakes, And all we need to do is just try our best each day, put one foot in front of the other, and see where life takes us. So sit back, relax, and let's get into today's topic. Next week's topic is a bit of a sensitive one. We'll be talking about grief, day-to-day grief, as well as dealing with big losses in life. Unfortunately, as you get older, you have to deal with grief more often. And next week, we'll be talking about how that grief comes up, how we can make room for that grief, and how we can comfort the people around us as they go through loss and change. But yeah, that's the topic for next week. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Hello. So, this week is my birthday. And as much as I would love for this to be like a celebration episode, like, yes, life be good, da-da-da-da-da, honestly, I tend to feel really sad around this time of year. And it's for various reasons. And I think in the beginning, I used to blame it on, really sort of silly things, right? But I think as I've gotten older and have spent more time reflecting, I think in essence the reason why I don't celebrate my birthday and why maybe I feel so sad around my birthday is that I spent a lot of my life, one, trying my very best to hide, trying not to be seen. And the reason why I did that was because I didn't feel like I deserved to be here, to be anywhere, really. I felt as if my existence was a waste of space. I felt as if my birth was a burden, and therefore, birthdays were just really, I guess, depressing because it's like an in-your-face reminder that you're here, I think sometimes you tend to get lost in the routine of life and, the busyness of this, that, and the other, that I sort of fail to, or you don't have to be so present, in the everlasting agony of existing, and what that means for you and the people around you. So, yeah. But even when thinking about that, my fear in general of, being seen, because I fear that eyes seeing me or people seeing me meant that I'd be judged, I'd be shamed. So I would just avoid it in general. I didn't go to my matric dance. I didn't do much to celebrate when I graduated. In fact, I felt numb the whole time, and there were other factors involved in it, but in general, I've never really invested in celebrating myself. Even when I got, my first car, I didn't even really take a picture, or like, yay, pose, little announcement to the lovers and friends. None of that, I think back to times when I got a call from, you know, a potential, job, and they call and say, hey, you got the job. And the best response I have is just, okay, what are the next steps? Kind of just like skip over it and move on. And I've slowly become like deeply aware of how much I've denied myself so much joy over these years, that there were moments that I could have just been present in and enjoyed, that I've been surrounded by beauty and by, celebration and by all these good things of life. And for whatever reason, I haven't allowed myself to participate in those things, right? I'm hyper aware, hyper vigilant of everything that could possibly go wrong. And obviously, if you focus on anything, if you look for anything hard enough, you'll find it. And if you walk around, looking for danger, looking, for something to jump out and hurt you, eventually, you find each other because you're looking for monsters, and it's looking for people to chase, so you're attracting each other. um, but yeah, and I think coming to that realization and also just realizing that, achievements aside, because that's also, a tricky situation, achievements aside, my life is worth celebrating, right? I am allowed to experience joy. I'm allowed to laugh. I'm allowed to be happy. I don't have to feel ashamed or that, I should just constantly commit my life to, just a life of self-flagellation and, contorting myself to oblige to other people's needs, and constantly neglect my own. I am here, not by my own choosing, but I'm here. And why not make the most of it? So that's what I've been trying to do recently. I've been trying to build a tolerance to being seen, to build a tolerance to joy. And I don't know. I don't know if it's working. I don't know if it's working because I put a lot of effort into trying to celebrate my birthday, but I think a part of me still wants to just crawl and hide because that's the one day that everyone suddenly remembers you exist, and it's like you're in a quiet room and you're sitting just row by row with people and everyone is just facing the stage and it's dead quiet, and for whatever reason you randomly decide to open a packet of chips. And that crinkle, just that first little and the whole room turns around to look at you, and that like the heat that rises, through your body to your face, and just the embarrassment, and you feel like everyone in the room is judging you, and you just want to like sink into your seat, have the floor open beneath you, and just fall into the abyss, and the shame, I think, and the embarrassment that comes with that. Sometimes, like in that moment, feels inescapable. It feels like, everyone, like this moment is going to go on forever. These people will always have the image of you, interrupting their silence with a packet of, blue Doritos. singed in the back of their minds, that they will go to bed cursing your name, when in reality, those people could have been turning around just to, like, inspect where the sound is coming from. Because, yes, you've interrupted the silence, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, You might have added some brevity to a pretty, boring situation. So they're turning just to see, out of curiosity, because as people, we are curious. And yes, they might now see you with a packet of chips and actually quietly, applaud you for being so brave, because they too have a packet of knickknacks in their bag that they have been eyeing for ages, but have been too afraid to, to make a sound. But there you are, bravely admitting, that your body has needs while you are maybe attending this thing to feed your mind, that your body needs nourishment too, and you are honoring your body in spite of the silence that everyone has, unconsciously agreed to hold. Um, so yeah, you can consider many possibilities, and just consider that, yeah, I made a sound. People are looking to see where the sound came from, and whoop-de-doo, detective, you found them. And if they are angry at you, what exactly are they angry about? Is this packet of Doritos really interrupting them so much that they can no longer, participate in the purpose of this event or whatever? Like, no, chillax, it's not that deep. Um, so yeah, that's the type of thinking that I would like to have, that me opening the packet of chips, yes, might garner some sort of attention, but not all that attention is negative, and not all of it is directed at me. It could just be their own stuff, right? It could just be the sound. It could be something happening around me that I just happen to be in the same proximity to. Um, but unfortunately, no. Birthdays for me are more of like the former, scenario, where all those eyes are turning on you, and the heat is rising, and you feel like you are in a cloud of embarrassment and shame, and your whole existence is now marred by this one thing. And yes, this one thing is the fact that I was born. The me being born is that, packet of Doritos in a quiet room that, everyone turns to look at me. They're reminded, oh, Kana, Lebu exists. So they turn to look at me, and all they see is just like, this disgusting thing, or this terrible human being. And I don't even know where I got that idea from. Like, am I really a bad person? You know what I mean? Like, let me look at the evidence of my life, what I do, how I treat people, feedback that I've gotten from random strangers, from my friends and people who love me, like, where's the evidence behind this idea? There is none. But, feelings are real too. But I don't want to be governed by these feelings anymore. And I'd like to learn to feel other things, to feel loved, and to believe that someone loves me, right? To laugh, to feel at peace, content, to feel safe. Oh, Jesus, I want to feel safe. One, obviously, being a woman in South Africa, it's not really, something that I'm familiar with, but also just like mental and emotional safety, as the friend who is oftentimes, the one who's the shoulder to cry on, the mama bear. It's hard for me to feel emotionally safe with people because, you know, much like last week's example of, handing out help and keeping everyone at a distance, that I haven't really, well, not so much now, but I'm still sort of trying to mend and create an environment that is reciprocal in that sort of emotional labor, you know. But yeah, I want that with all my relationships, you know, that I'm emotionally safe. Um, but yeah, it's kind of strange now trying to build the life that you want, you know, build a life worth living, to build a life that I'm happy to be a part of, that I don't feel ashamed to be in. And yeah, I didn't have the best start or the best examples of how to take care of my internal environment, but I'd like to believe that a younger version of me would feel safe with me, that a younger version of me, that my inner child, would be comforted by me. I would like to get to a point where I am able to delight in myself, delight in my inner child, just, you know, embrace myself with open arms, a deep, warm hug, you know, a slow and steady exhale as we sink into each other's arms and finally feel safe. Because I think part of my desire for safety comes from maybe not feeling safe within myself, safe with myself, that I've broken many promises to myself over these years, and I have betrayed myself in so many ways, that part of this building of a life, you know, is also a lot of work in building back trust, right? Because I've let myself down. I've hurt myself, and I have created this misery in some way. Created it either by not letting go of things that no longer serve me, or creating it by, you know, believing in things that aren't true. So I am here on my final year in my 20s. And I am painfully, and you know, oh geez, it's hard work, this. It really is. And shout out to my therapist for acknowledging it, because I think while I was talking to him about, you know, this journey that I've been on, and like all these little realizations, and like how I need to stop, you know, minimizing my achievements and minimizing the things I do for others, and just minimizing myself in many ways, right? And, you know, even when I talk about my friendships or people who are good to me in any way, it's more so, you know, in a way that brings myself down, and not necessarily in a way that just praises the person who is good, if that makes sense. So I'm telling him about all these realizations. At some point, he, you know, lists all these different, you know, things that I've brought up, and, you know, gives me his analysis of everything and rah, rah, rah. But then when he finishes with that, he says, like, you know, what you're doing is some big stuff. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to be very scary. And I don't know why, but I just sort of like, you know, let out a tear, and just, you know, it felt as if I'd been holding my breath the whole time. And it kind of feels like that all the time, you know, when you don't feel like you belong, when you're terrified all the time that someone is going to catch you out, you know, because that imposter syndrome is there. And, you know, you are scared that you can't really open up, right, with anyone, that if anyone really got to know you, that they'd hate you, and you always have this tightness in your chest. And I think him at least acknowledging that, one, the mindset that I had before must have been really hard to live with, but that the work of undoing it is also just as hard. It felt like I'd been able to, you know, exhale, a breath that I didn't even know I was holding. Um, so yeah, I really appreciated that session. And I'm trying very hard to learn to appreciate myself in the little things that I do, to celebrate myself in the little ways, and, to just try to be kind to myself every single day in everything that I do. And it's even gone to now how I spend my money, or how I'm trying to be more conscientious about my spending, is also just sort of, am I honoring the amount of time and effort that I put into making this money? And am I really just like going to squander it on this thing? Like, is this a wise choice? Is this something that honors and shows gratitude to the work that I put into earning this money? Yeah, and it has encouraged me to cook at home more often, because, getting takeout also becomes a question of, is this meal option the kindest thing that I could do for myself right now? And sometimes it is, when I haven't eaten the whole day and I'm exhausted, and, I just need something to eat in this moment, then sure, satiating that need and making sure that I'm fed is more important than, does it have your macros and micros and rah, 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 but when planning out my meals, when I do, and if I do have the option for a healthier choice, if I'm really not that tired, like, if we're being honest, I'm not that tired, I could cook, or maybe I am tired, right? But in this area that I'm in, do I have to be going to a fast food place, or could I pop into a Woolworths and get, a ready-made meal that has broccoli, rice, some shiitake mushrooms, and a little bit of like a pesto type situation. I don't know. Could I make another option and another choice? If so, then, what's the kind of option between these two choices? So I am trying, and obviously it's not going to happen overnight. But yeah, I would like my birthday to be symbolic of, a new era, that I will put more effort into creating this life that I want for myself, this is the year, I've been doing it in drips and drabs before, trying to conceptualize everything, trying to figure out, what works for me and what doesn't, and what my triggers are, and all of those things. And I appreciate the time that I've spent in investigating myself and looking into myself. And I think these past couple of years have been years for introspection. But I'd like this coming year, year for me on this planet, on this rock we call Earth, I'd like this to be the year that I do it for real. We're not fucking around anymore, We're doing this, because you can also get into that decision-making paralysis, where you're just going to keep introspecting, keep investigating, and never get to the part where you just do, and you turn these discoveries into actions, these insights into habits, into transformations. And that's the gift I'd like to give to myself. Yeah. And part of that gift is by celebrating my birthday. For the first time in a very long time, I will be doing something for my birthday. And I've encouraged friends who have been willing to travel to my city in the past. I've encouraged them to also, come by and join in on the celebrations. I spent my time off ordering cupcakes and, some bubbly, thinking of a cute venue, planning out activities and games because, I don't want to just sit and eat and drink. I find that to be quite boring. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy the company of the people who love me and the people that I love. So I am going to take my first step into this new journey by doing the thing that scares me the most. I am going to try. And I might fail, but I'm also, more importantly, I'm going to allow myself to be seen. And I'm going to try my best to convince that evil voice in the back of my mind that people seeing me can be a good thing, that I can finally connect to the people around me, that I can actually experience the joy of being seen. Because as much as I don't want to be looked at and seen, I also want to be looked at and seen. I want people to see me, and I want their faces to, shine as, they fill up with joy seeing me and being reminded of all the parts of themselves that they love that are reflected in me. I want to be delighted in, and I want to delight in others, and it starts with trying. So yeah, our homework for this week, I guess, is celebrating ourselves. Yeah. And if for any other reason, just to see what it feels like, just to try. It might be hard, but every day find something to celebrate. Even if it's something small, like, yes, bitch, I sent that email. Who sends emails better than me? No one. I'm out here. I'm the email queen. I'm out here clickety clackety. That kind regards, kindest of regards. Nobody sends out kind regards like this, Bish. You know what I mean? Why not? Why the fuck not? Call someone you care about and say, hey guys, I just sent a really difficult email that I've been putting off for a long time, but I did it today. I conquered something today, and I need you to celebrate with me. And if they don't want to take 2 minutes out of their day to say, yes, Bish, yes, you did that, then now you know who to cut off the roster next time. That's it. And you find the people who celebrate those small things, who are happy to see you happy regardless of the circumstance. They're not going to be like, well, if it's not a wedding or your birthday or a new job, I'm not about it. No, bitch. No, bitch. Yes, when it's a birthday, a wedding, a new job, it's Cirque du Soleil. All I'm asking for right now is a hip, hip hooray. So you can do that. You can muster that up. It costs you nothing. But either way, you celebrate. You celebrate the fact that, like, well, fuck, damn. Actually, I'm looking cute today. Got these colors working, got a nice situation. I chose a nice outfit. I dressed myself and I chose this banger. So look at me. Look at me. Look at me, look at myself. Look at me, look at you, looking at me. Because we're all looking. This is a masterpiece. Take a selfie. Send it to your lovers and friends and say, you might not recognize me if you walk past me because I be looking like a beast. I be out here, so I'm just letting you know. If you see a bad bitch in the streets, it's me. I know. Unrecognizable. But just put it in the folder. Just put it in the folder, save it, make it your wallpaper. I know you want to because you've never seen art like this. Why not? Why not celebrate yourself? And out loud. Don't just give yourself a quiet pat on the back. Say, yeah, girl, that looks nice. It's not enough. It's not enough. We need to be just loud and proud, and not like posting it on social media for strangers, to give you this like weird affirmation that you need. No. Share it with your friends, people who you love, people whose opinions should matter. Because some strange guy on the internet is going to be like, oh, Bish, where are your knees? Literally, I posted a video of myself doing a little twirl in a cute dress, and I got a DM of like, bitch, where does your calf end and your knee start? Like, it's just all one tube going all the way down to your ankle, like from the thigh straight down. It's just one log of lard. Imagine that time when I sent it to my lovers and friends. They were just like, oh my gosh, the cutest. Now, who am I going to choose to believe? The bad bitches who are in my circle, or some random stranger who clearly had too much time on their hands? So from now on, we are celebrating ourselves out loud so that we can hear ourselves say the amazing things about ourselves. But for those things to also then be affirmed by people who we love, trusted individuals in our lives. It serves a purpose. The purpose is to rewire the brain. The purpose is to rewire your focus, to get you to start looking for things to celebrate, that we're not going to be hyper-focused on dangers and what could go wrong. Yes, you remain safe within like a reasonable, capacity, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And you might as well have a whole bunch of good days leading up to that bad day so that you have something to think about, something to remember while shit's going wrong, that, you know what, I've had some good days and I think I can have some more. Let me see what I can do about this situation so that I can get over it and get back to having my good ass days. And that it might be easier now for you to go back to that because you're familiar with it now. Now you're out here, walking in the street, like, you know what? I got a nice stride. I like how my hips sway from side to side. I like how my hair's bobbing. You know what I mean? I'm out here. I'm cute. It doesn't have to be a big thing. For the longest time, the only thing I was able to celebrate about myself was my nails. And I'm so glad that I've gotten to a point where there's a lot more that I notice, that is worth celebrating. Yes, I haven't fully accepted my whole self and I still struggle, but that's what this new birthday is about. Because now we're not going to just test things out. We're going to be about it. If I say I love myself, if I say I want to love myself, like some random guy who comes up to you, trying to say, hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. My response to these people who are just like, oh, I really love you. I want to show you the world. Bish, actions. That's all I want. Actions. If you say you want to buy me the planet, you want to buy me Earth, then go hunt down Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and get all their monies and come back to me with them racks and say, come baby, let's go shopping. That's all I want. And the same standard should be applied to myself. If I say I want to love myself, if I say I want to have a better relationship with myself, then what am I doing about it? What effort am I putting into actually making that happen? And this is the effort. The effort is by having a better relationship with myself, I need to affirm myself. I need to actually fucking see myself. Because as much as I may be afraid of other people seeing me, it may be because I don't know what they will see. Because I don't even know myself. So let me get to know myself. Let me romance myself. Take myself out on little dates. Ask her a few questions. Find out what her favorite color is. You know what I mean? Does she sleep on the left side or the right side of the bed? What's her vibe? And whatever her vibe is, I love it. I love it. For whatever reason, I'm drawn to her. Can't seem to get away. And I need to know who this amazing person is. So that's what we're about this week. At least we're going to try. Because even now saying it, I'm hyped up. But I know that, come tomorrow when I wake up, and I face a new day, I'd like to choose to have a good day. I'd like to choose to make the day a day about celebrating myself and being present in the world around me. But I don't know if I'll wake up with the bandwidth to do that work, that hard work. But I'm going to try. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you in our next episode when we get back to our scheduled programming. I love you. Bye.